Howdy, yeah. Today is December 21st and we have some nice sunshine out today. That's really nice to see. It's been just cloudy and gray for so long. We did get a little dusting of snow. It's interesting looking snow. It looks like those little styrofoam balls. Just like someone spilled a whole package out here. They're just tiny little white balls. Pretty. The chicks sure are getting big. They're just tiny versions of their adult form now. The red ones are Rhode Island Reds. I don't know, I have those two in the middle there, the white one and the one to the left. Those are true whiting, I want to say blue. They also have true whiting green, but I think they only had blue at that time. And they're all sorts of different colors. And then the black and white speckled ones, those are the Anconas. So I have brown, white, and blue egg layers in here. But I think I got these guys all in September, so they'll start laying here this spring. They'll probably start laying somewhere around March, April, May, all in there. I had 3 different batches and they were all several weeks apart, so I don't remember which ones I got first or last. But this spring I'm going to be flooded with eggs. First time using the big trough here, I threw in some cracked eggs that I had from the other day. And this is a lot nicer having it spread out. Since they are getting bigger, it's kind of hard for them to all fit around the tub. They're, of course, all fighting over the eggs there. That's the good stuff. But you can see there's still some in there. They just all want to go after one. But anyways, pigs are done minus the water, and their water is frozen. So have to get some hot water going. They waste so much food because they're just so dumb. But they'll eat it eventually. I go through about 2 5-gallon buckets a day, just for getting everything fed on the chicken end, and then the pigs are even a different feed. But this is the second bucket for today. But this is all I have left here. The other trash can's already empty. And typically I was able to go 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, but I'm not even going to make 2 weeks now. And that's because I put the chicks onto this ration, their adult ration. So I'm going to be flying through chicken food. Howdy out. Today is December 22nd. Currently working on chores. So far all the chickens have food. I'm working on the pigs right now. I measured out to give them exactly 8 pounds a day. Starting tomorrow, since it's their 3-month birthday mark, they're going to move up to 12 pounds a day. So slowly getting a little bit more. But we'll get the pigs done and then start working on water. We have a little bit of frozen water out there today, but nothing terrible. I have the water heater turned on if we needed to thaw anything. Today is the last day that is going to be getting below freezing, and then after that, we're in the 40s and 50s for the rest of the year, all the way through until the new year. So that's going to be a nice break because it has been pretty chilly basically since Thanksgiving. And there's 8. Along with their 8 pounds of food every day, I do give them a treat every day. So today they have apples. Someone donated those. They're getting a little squishy, so the pigs will love them. Starting tomorrow, once they start getting 12 pounds of grain a day, it won't fit in that one little tub. So I will start using this big one full time for them now. And it does help kind of spread the pigs out a little bit, but they don't fight too terribly bad. which is nice. So Tiny Tim, I still watch him just to make sure he's getting enough food, and he's doing just fine. Howdy, yeah, today is December 23rd, which the pigs are now 3 months old. So they're up to 12 pounds of grain, which is about half of a 5-gallon bucket. And their treat today is a couple potatoes. Threw in another bale of straw for the pigs since it was getting a little rooted around looking in there. They could use it. Interesting that Domino's more interested in that than food, because I just fed them maybe 5 minutes ago. Granted, they do have a lot more food than what they used to, so probably get full a little quicker, but they'll have fun tearing that up and playing with it. I usually have to come and kick it back in because they like playing with it so much, but keeps them nice, warm, and dry. I might need to move that heat lamp if this ever gets built up too much, or just clean this out. Probably won't bother cleaning this out though till springtime. I was trying the hose today, but it's a little iced up. I'm getting a trickle, but it's still pretty stiff, so I'm gonna let that drip a little longer, see if it'll thaw out. But until then, I'll just run inside and start filling up waters. This hose is just not thawing up, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off and turn the hose off. It's not getting below freezing for the next, well, till the new year. It kind of looks like it's gonna be pretty warm, just rainy and wet. So everything should be thawed out real good, and I won't have to worry about water. But until then, today's probably the last day. I need to run around inside the barn and get water, but chores are pretty much done. I do need to grab some more eggs. So far I've got 2 shy of 3 dozen. Yeah, so I'll get 3 dozen today, which is great. I did go to the feed barn earlier, grab some food. Forgot calcium, so I'll get that at some point when I'm out next, probably after Christmas. Since we're getting nice and warm for a couple weeks, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that water heater off. Merry Christmas, y'all. Today is December 25th. It is currently 45 degrees and raining. If it was 20 degrees and snowing, it'd be perfect, but I'll take the warm weather. So Christmas Eve was pretty quick in and out on the farm. I ran through chores. I did time myself, and it was literally jogging. There was no walking going on, and it took me 25 minutes to get everything done, so that's not too bad. Today, I don't plan on running through chores. But I don't plan on hanging out at the farm too long today either. Just do chores and get out of here. So it's a very nice Christmas morning. I hope all y'all had a very nice Christmas as well. Got some fun things for the farm. One being a bag of attic insulation. So I am super excited for that. There's probably not too many people that can say they'd be excited for attic insulation, but I really needed one more bag for that room upstairs that we built this time last year, around this time. And then at least the attic part is nice and insulated at that point. So that is really nice to have. So a huge thank you to my family for that. I got a lot of other fun things that you'll see pop up here and there. But anyways, today is just going to be in and out. Howdy, yeah. Today is December 26th. I was doing chores in this last coop here. When I was inside, the latch didn't close all the way, so I had some chickens get out. I was not planning on staying here until dark today because some other things I'd like to get done. So 4 chickens got out. I already grabbed 2. One was pretty easy grab. The second one I had to rig something and kind of catch her in that. So I still have 2 more that are out. Now let me show you what I do to kind of lure chickens into me being able to catch them. So to catch the first chicken, the first approach I used was to just kind of walk around and pretend I wasn't really even going after him, and then the last second snatch him. Super simple. For my second catch, what I did was they love coming over here to say hi to the roosters. And I have these straw bales around. So I was chasing them, not really chasing, just kind of walking them around the coop this way. And I went ahead and moved this straw bale out because the chicken's instinctively gonna wanna run in that way. They realize, oh no, can't do that. And then they try to get out through here and hop up. And then as soon as I see them go in there, that's when I can hop on top and grab them. And that's how I got the second chicken. I'm gonna try it again with this one here. Oh, that's a nice stance. Sometimes if they do that, you get lucky. Because the roosters are here, she's not gonna be that easy. And then the other one I have is pearl white, kind of by the corner. She wants to go in the coop, but every time I walk over there, she freaks out. So I have some ideas to get her. Well, that way quickly did not work. I have my nice pants on. I don't have too many nice pairs of pants, so I don't really want to dive for chickens. So I'm trying to catch them a little cleaner. And she's back around the rooster coop, so I'm going to try to do that little maneuver. She's kind of on to me, which makes it a little harder to grab them, but it's chicken. They're not the smartest. That way also did not work. So she ran straight back toward the coop, and they want to go in there, they just can't figure it out. And if I had two people, it would be so easy to get these chickens back in, but considering it's just me, it makes it a little harder. So both chickens have reunited over on the other side of the trailer there, so we work out something else. So the next method that sometimes works is if I sit in the coop and kind of block the chickens from going out, the ones that are currently in the coop, I leave the door open, and sometimes the chickens will walk in for me. She was back there. I don't know if you can see her now. She might have walked off, but sometimes this works. It's a little more risky because you do risk getting a few more chickens out, but sometimes it works, so we'll give this a shot for a little bit. I'm a little close to the door. I'd like to back up a little further so I don't scare the chicken that's trying to come in. But I don't see her. She's out there though. That method was really close. It was actually really frustrating because that gray chicken was right by the door about to come in. And one of the chickens in the coop saw her, got excited, and tried bolting out the door. So I had to swat that chicken away, which in turn scared the other chicken. So we are back to square one. So another trick up my sleeve, besides just running and diving and catching these birds, which I'd rather not do, is since I have not done chores in there, I had just done the food, and that's when the door had swung open and 5 birds had run out on me. They don't have any water, so I know these girls have got to be thirsty. So what I'm gonna do is fill up their water, and I'm gonna put it on the edge of a coop, just enough so the birds will go to the side but not see me sneaking up on the side. I can just reach around and grab their leg. So it works really well for 1 bird, 2 birds. I don't know if I'll be able to get away with doing that twice. Fingers crossed. So this is the setup. You put it just a little bit inside on a corner, and then you run your escape birds. You don't really want to run them, you want to casually move them so that way they're not freaked out. Just kind of have them walk up this way. If they're thirsty, which I know these girls are, they're gonna be taking a drink from that water. Their head's gonna be down. I can sneak up all the way here, and their feet are just hanging out. I can reach out and grab them. This method has worked several times for me, but I did snag myself a couple times on this chicken wire that I have on the ground, on the coops. And I have that down just so critters can't dig underneath the coops. But let me see if I can fool a chicken here. The pearl whites are really tough because they're so flighty, but it's the pearl whites that I've actually been able to use this water trick on before, and it works. Right, chicken? Yeah, they're already keyed up because I've been chasing them. I've got that gray chicken back on the roosters. Might try the straw bale method again real quick. Well, this is probably the most frustrating by far, is they're by the door, but just run away as soon as you get in. We'll try this method again. Chickens, get back. I've also used fishing nets, pool nets before. Those work really well to catch chickens. but you tend to break them pretty easily, so they're not really worth it in the long run. Unless you have, you know, a pet chicken or something that you really just don't want to get out. Then in that case it might be alright, but with this many birds and as many times as chickens get out on me, it's not really cost efficient to keep buying pool nets and stuff like that. So still have 2 birds out. I did catch another chicken, so I only have the pearl white out now. How I caught this last chicken, at this point I've already done some sliding, so I went for it. But the real thing that caught it was I used a piece of chicken wire, and it's just in the shape of a circle. I kind of attached it here so it wouldn't stab me or the chicken. Got close to the chicken, held it like this, threw it on her, and then jumped on top of her, and I was able to get her that way. So 1 more out, and she's out in the woods now, so I don't know if I'll bother with her. I might just leave her out. But the bulk of the chickens are in, so that's good. I still have chores to do, so I'll let that pearl white chill out for, I don't know, another 20 minutes, however long it takes me to fill up the rest of the feeders and waters. And then we'll try to get her 1 more time. When all else fails, just chase the chicken through the woods. She was already in the woods, so I didn't really have to go in too far. You can see the coops are right there. So lots of sticker bushes though. But I'm lucky there's some junk wire here. You probably can't see it, but it made a perfect net. She couldn't get out of it, so lucky me, she went to it and I dove and got her. So lucky she didn't go any further, because I'm actually stuck on a down log right now, so I can't reach any further anyway. So worked out really well, and get her back with her friends. When I dove for this chicken, my pants caught on this. I'm gonna try to not rip them, but got a chicken in one hand, pants caught on this. All right, chicken, come on. If I drop you now, I would not be happy. There we go. All right, we're free. Now you can see it probably a little better. You can see there's some old fencing that was in here. She went right in there and could knock it out. I got really lucky on that one. So much for trying to keep my nice jeans good. Rule number 1 should just never wear good clothes to the farm. In short, there is no good way that I've found to catch chickens solo. The methods that I told you guys and tried to use and was successful on a couple chickens doesn't always work, and sometimes you just can't catch the chicken. Usually I always catch the chicken though, because I'm a very determined person like that. So you can use straw bales, especially if they're around a coop where they want to get in. I could have put straw bales around their coop entrance door because they kind of liked running there, and I probably could have managed to wedge a chicken there and catch them that way. But I didn't want to drag much straw bales over there, and the ones around the rooster coop are waterlogged and heavy at this point, so I wanted to try some other methods before I had to start building things. The other one, sometimes you can just walk up to a bird and get really lucky, and you saw it in with the roosters when the hen was over there. They kind of squat down because they think they're about to get mated. A lot of times chickens will do that for you, and you can just pick them up and grab them, and it's so simple. I got lucky on the first chicken, was able to do that with. Sometimes you can try to corner them. All my birds were a little too smart. I couldn't get them in between the 2 winter coops on the side of the barn there, back of the barn. They weren't falling for that one. If you have a net, those are really effective. Those work well. Or you can just use what I use, which is just a balled up piece of chicken wire in the shape of a circle. Grab your chicken that way, pounce on them. You can always just chase the chickens. In my case, through the woods there. I wasn't intending to try and catch her in the woods. It just worked out. I was actually trying to shoo her back around on this side of the fence and use the chicken wire to grab her that way. But it worked out that I saw she was stuck and freaking out and couldn't get out of her little predicament there with that old wire. So I dove as fast as I could and got her. So I got lucky on that. But yeah, there were 5 chickens out. First one was super simple. As soon as I closed the door, I was able to get that chicken in. There's a bird up there or something. Don't know what, but chickens didn't like it. Anyways, there's all sorts of methods you can use to catch chickens, but those are the ones I've used and worked. The water one works really well too. If you can put it around a corner with the chickens drink, grab their leg when they're not paying attention because they can't see you. If anybody else has cool ideas, let me know, because it's not too terribly often I have to catch chickens. If they get out, I generally just leave them out and stay the day. But since there were only a few, I figured I'd be able to catch them and get them back in the coop so I didn't have to hang out all day. In the summer, spring, fall, I'm out here more often because there's just more going on. But in the wintertime, there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot I can do as far as growing things or moving chickens, so I generally just don't do too much in the winter. It's nice to take a break. I have plenty of projects I can work on, like that grain bin, cleaning the barn, repairing the mobile coops, because I wanted to redo the nesting boxes. I mean, there's an endless list of things I could do, but it's kind of nice, especially around Christmas time, because Christmas was just yesterday, to unwind a little bit and spend time with family and not mess with farm projects. So anyways, that was my quick synopsis of catching chickens solo. Now that I'm already muddy, let me go ahead and put on some muck boots. Last week sometime, my dad was out here at the farm with my brother. They were messing around. My dad did put latches on these coops here, because sometimes the latches, for whatever reason, don't latch good. They don't get slammed shut, or a chicken manages to mess with it, since I have the latches on the inside. So even if this gets pulled, that door is not opening. So that's just kind of the fail-safe method. So when I'm done, I latch that good. And then same thing over here, the latch is on the inside. And then we put that there. Nothing's gonna happen even if that gets pulled. So when I'm done with them, I do that. And these other coops out here, the latches are on the outsides. So my dad just cut these tiny pieces of wire, and it works instead of putting a little clip on there. You can put a clip here, but instead just a piece of wire does it. So the coop can't get opened up and chickens can't get out accidentally. So when I'm in working for the day, I leave it open like that. But before I go ahead and put those on. And sometimes on these coops, at least these first two original coops that I built, the other coops are all fine, but I have metal on these little pole chains, and all the other ones I have a little cord, and these don't let the latch go freely, so sometimes it just gets stuck up and you really have to slam the doors, or you have to go inside and push this out to make sure that latches. But this one here, the coop where the chickens got out, this one's the worst of all. It's a piece of copper and is very stiff. So I really need to cut this and put something else a little easier on so I don't have chickens getting out again. The reason I even bothered to drill and put a piece of wire or something through there is so that way I don't get stuck in the coop. So if the door is shut, the latch is on the outside, kind of tough for me to get out. So with that little pull chain, I pull and it lifts the latch up. So the ones behind the barn are just opposite. Doesn't really matter. I don't see a huge advantage to either one. It just depends on which way you want the door going for the latch. The chickens do, the little cord that I use, the chickens do like pulling that, so sometimes they can open it themselves or pull it back so I can't get it. Then I have to get a little wire and fish it out, at least on those winter coops. So pros and cons of both. It doesn't really matter one way to me, but having that second little latch on there ensures nothing's getting out. So the reason the chickens got out on me today is I closed it and it didn't latch back on me because it's just kind of stiff. So really got to slam it. Even then you can't see from this angle too well, but you've even got to push that to make sure it actually latches all the way really good. But yeah, sometimes even with the cord it'll do it too, but it happens more often with these stiffer ones. Anyways, I brought in a bag of bedding, so we'll spread that real quick for the chickens. Make it nice in here for them. It's getting a little gross looking, so nice to get them some fresh bedding. One bale will cover this entire coop, which is nice. And usually after I do this, they like taking their dust baths. A lot of times I let the chickens scratch it out. Sometimes they don't do a good job and they leave a huge pile. in the middle and it mounds up, so I try to do a little bit of work for them. Chickens eat various amounts of foods depending on the time of year. Currently, with all my birds, I'm going through 50-pound bag pretty much every day, so that's quite a bit. And I only have these 3 coops that are laying, and then I have 100 birds that are still young and not doing anything just yet. So in order to make any money on the eggs, I need to get at least 4 dozen a day. So for today's egg haul, I got 3 dozen plus I think 2 eggs. So when I say I need 4 dozen to pay for the chickens, that's for all of my chickens. That's the roosters plus the 100 birds that aren't doing anything at the moment. So the laying hens pay for themselves as long as I get 2 dozen eggs a day from them. It sounds like I just got another egg, so I might go in there and check that real quick. I did notice the fence is hitting pretty hard. I turned the lights off. There's a little fence okay button there, and if that's flashing, that's good. It's currently not flashing. So with the warmer weather, we have a lot more mud, and I'm sure the pigs have pretty much covered up their bottom fence line. So let's go see what it looks like. The pigs are able to root around and push mud and dirt onto the bottom line of the fence without getting shocked. So sometimes that's what they do, and I have to go and knock it off with the board. So looks like they've done quite a bit of that. Hey pigs, you guys grounding out your fence? Planning your escape? Don't need any more of that today. All right, I did this line a couple days ago. Looks pretty good. It was still a little frozen, so I wasn't able to kick a lot off, but you can tell it's still just sitting on the ground. So that one's probably the worst. Hi Winnie, does that look like fun? Gonna bite it? It's not food, just a board. Okay pigs, that's fine. Should have came out here earlier while y'all were distracted by food. This looks buried over here, so that's not helping anything. Let's short a fence out real quick. I might have to do it when I put you guys down. I'll just look at the fence real quick. Yeah, there's a lot that's just hitting ground. Oh, this one's really bad. You can see the line there, and then it just disappears. So I really need to clear that one off. I still have yet to take down these lines. Shouldn't be bad though. But once again, this bottom line here, this one's pretty much underground there. So let me start clearing this off. I've got 2 lines clear. Winnie was very happy to find a clump of grass that I threw in here, so she's nibbling on that. But the bottom lines look so much better. I bet that fence is popping pretty good now. I'll check the Energizer here in a minute and see if it's hitting hard or normal again. With the temperatures, we should have some bee activity going on. This hive out here, maybe 2 weeks ago, I did see some activity, so that was nice. It actually looks like I see quite a few bees right now. So that is a great sign. I love seeing that. When it gets warm in the winter time like this, the bees like going out. They call it a cleansing flight. They'll go out, use the bathroom. They don't like pooping in the hive. They're very hygienic, so they go do that. They'll carry out their dead bees, just do some maintenance inside. There's nothing that they can really go around and collect. Not a lot's going on at the moment, so they're just cleaning things up at the moment in there. But this is a great sign here. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I've taken a much more hands-off approach to the bees this year. One, out of necessity, because just time constraints with everything that I'm trying to do. But also it's a bit of an experiment just to see how the bees do without me messing with them so much. I was really big on the powdered sugar the first year or 2, and the more I got to thinking about it, if I have to go in there and dust bees for varroa mites, that's what I would dust them for, so that way they'd clean the sugar off and clean this little mite that they'd pick up on a flower. If I have to do that, they're probably not good bees that I want anyway. So the varroa mite's been around for 20-30 years at this point in the States, so hopefully the bees are kind of figuring it out and they're just clean bees and they're knocking them off. There's things that I can do to help them with that. I use screen bottom boards, so that way when they do clean themselves off, the mites will fall down through the hive and not stay in the hive and crawl on another bee. So it's small things like that. Also, I didn't put any candy boards on this year. I still might, but I don't know. Once again, I just want to take a hands-off approach and see what happens, because bees have been around for thousands of years without human intervention, and kind of just want to see what happens. Also, if I do put candy boards on like I have done in the past, I have to break that propolis seal, one that's very hard to do because it's super glue. And if I do manage to break that seal, then there's gaps and it lets cold air in and it just messes up the bees. So I kind of just don't want to do anything with them and see what spring looks like. So instead of putting candy boards in the hive, I have been thinking about just putting a sugar feeder out somewhere, so that way on these warmer days they could go out when they're taking their cleansing flights, they find some food, they're happy, and keeps them going for a little bit. But that's probably all I'm gonna do. I do want to do some insulation. You can see I have just a straw bale on that one. It's this hive out here that I'm more worried about with the wind and weather. The other hives are pretty protected and there's trees around them and just a lot more wind breaks. So it's just this hive I'm worried about, and so far they look great.